Should be good now. Good luck, bro. Good luck, bro. Excuse me, mouse. I think it confused. I was promised more than acres and mules. Then I feel like a fool, forget the rules. What the fine print say? My great great granddaddy probably turning his. I was straight to the stage. Go tell them I ain't afraid of ghosts, vampires, whips and chains. Crazy contracts, digits and names. Shit it all be the same. When they say cigarette, campaign, we eggs, cocaine to the brain, stay flow pain, so much pain with the fortune and fame. Drive my young, I'm doing together, praying. It's back like the tides on the California. Waiting at turn for this. I live and learn for this. How I stay down. What's so many miles, so many miles. Scared of werewolves, vampires, but all maybe you see. And I'm seeing that I could set my people free. Could set my people free. Scared of werewolves, vampires, but then I always will see. And I see that I could set my people free. Could set my people free. Could set my people free. If I can set my people free. If I can set my people free. Never be free. Good morning, everybody that's in here. Good morning, everybody that's in here. Good morning, good morning. Billy, what's up? Uh, associate, appreciate that. I can feel a heartbreak on one another love. Every time you come around, I fade off. And niggas that I meet, life is a bitch. But I didn't know that she was this sharp.
Patrick, that actually made me laugh, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. That made me laugh. I had a switch. I need to put a shirt on. I'm getting a little hot, but that actually made me laugh. I need all the laughs I can get this morning, this week, man. For today was a tough morning for me. Had a dream about my mother. Shout out to my Dukes. It was tough for me to be able to host this today, but I am here today. Blessed, thankful, grateful, etc. Many NFL teams believe Travis Hunter performance at Colorado put in because he prefers first to be wide receiver at the next level. But yeah, like Patrick said, and associate and other people said as well. Make sure you all click that like button, click that thumbs up button that's on the screen right there. It's funny he said what I typically say. You know how you go in somebody's house and take your shoes off. Y'all should come in and hit the thumbs up button as well. It helps the algorithm out for anybody that's surfing on YouTube to come across facts and stats. It helps the algorithm out for anybody that's surfing on YouTube to come across facts and stats. With that being said, welcome to the best show in the world. It's Facts and Stats Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern time until 11 a.m. Eastern time until first and foremost, like I was just speaking to, make sure y'all like the live today. I will greatly appreciate that. Comment throughout the show. I read every single comment for the most part. And if you want to share this out with one person or a group of people, feel free to do that as well. And then last but not least, make sure you all subscribe to Facts and Stats on YouTube. 32 subscribers away. 32 subscribers away from the big number. 32 subscribers away from the big number. So if you are in here, you're not subscribed to Facts and Stats on YouTube, I would love for you all to subscribe to Facts and Stats on YouTube. It's a great community to subscribe to. It's a great community to be a part of. It's a great community to share your thoughts in. It's a great community, in my opinion, to listen to because there's a lot of different sports minds in here, where a lot of people say a lot of good things, and some people say a lot of controversial things. So that's what happens when you talk sports. Also, I would love for everybody that's in here to extend their support and become a member. If you are not a member, how can you become a member? The link is in the description on this video. There's 3 different levels you can join as: level 1, level 2, level 3. Feel free to join as any level that best suits you. They all have different customized perks, all have the ability to send emotes into the chat and things of that nature. So again, the link is in the description in this video or on this video to become a member. And I would love for everybody to become a member. Also, you can send super chats and super stickers at any time throughout the show today. The amount does not matter necessarily. I'll be grateful regardless. As you can see on the back end, all extended support is appreciated. Ted was good. Z-Farm was good. Josh, I think I said was good to you already. All extended support is appreciated. It is important to follow Facts and Stats on Twitter, most importantly as of right now. Why? Because Twitter Spaces will be returning after these play-in/playoff games. So play-in/playoff games, that's really like in like a week and some change. You'll be seeing Twitter Spaces come back. That's where Facts and Stats, the show, started at 3 years ago this month. Actually, that's the funny thing. The link to just follow Facts and Stats on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok is in the description on this video as well, and it's just on the page, period. This where some shows, not shows, well, potentially. This where we'll be talking sports after the play-in and playoff games. And also some shows are just going to start right here on Twitter Spaces again as well. Again, it's Facts and Stats _ This is where everything started at as far as the show purposes. So yeah, make sure you all follow Facts and Stats on Twitter and be prepared. Also, for the ones that be retweeting and or liking, greatly appreciated. Would love for this number to say 2020 one day. I'm always hovering around this little mark right here with 10 to 12. I know Ari, Justin, Shaggy, Mazak, Byron, sometimes when he see it, Tina, shout out to Tina, and Rye as well. When they see it, they always retweet and or like it. If you ever see this tweet and you want to help me out, for somebody that's, you don't even have to retweet it. If you just want to like it, that's cool. If you want to quote tweet it, that's cool. If you want to retweet it, that's cool. That helps more people see Facts and Stats and let them know that it's on YouTube, not playback, not Twitter Spaces, whatever the case may be. So for the ones that do it all the time, pretty much, thank you. I do realize and I do notice who they are. And the ones that's willing to do it going forward sometimes, whether you just see it. I'm not saying, hey, let me go to Facts and Stats page. Let me go retweet. Like, no, you don't. If you see it and you do it, I'm thankful. I'm appreciative. So yeah, that's that. Also, next biggest thing we are on and popping tonight. I can't wait personally. This is going to be a game like no other. This is going to be a game like no other. The national championship. Don't nothing get better than this. You can, well, you have the Super Bowl, you have the NBA Finals, whatever the case may be. But I love college basketball. I love the national championship. Playback.tv/facts and stats is where we'll be watching the Florida and Houston national championship game tonight. I think that starts at 8:50. But for some reason, the playback room told me to schedule it at 8 o'clock. That's super duper early. Oh, 8:30. I lied. Okay, 8:30. So cool. I think it'll start like 8:50, 9 o'clock. But yeah, that's where we'll be at tonight watching this playback game. I would love for everybody to pull up. I said playback game, this national championship game. I would love for everybody to pull up. If you are not a part of the Fact and Stats playback room, I would love for you all to join. 1,758 members. More people are joining on a day-to-day basis. Let's go. Salute, Mo Beezy. What's good with you? Playback.tv/Fact and Stats. That's the room right there. And again, it's free. It's the app you can download. It don't cost no money to sign up and join the Fact and Stats playback room. And we typically head there and talk about NBA or whatever the case may be. So playback.tv/Fact and Stats. Fact and Stats Gambling Discord. The Discord is on this page. If you want to join the Discord and share your plays or whatever the case may be, or tell somebody plays, whatever the case may be, feel free to join the Fact and Stats Gambling Discord. And yeah, it is on this page. If for whatever reason the link don't work, just DM me and I will send you the link. It should work though, but for whatever reason it don't work, just DM me and I'll send you the link. What else? Starting off the same old. For anybody that's in here, anybody in here get sold on a parlay over the weekend, whether it was Saturday, whether it was Sunday, whether it was Sunday. Did anybody get sold on a parlay this weekend, whether it was Saturday, whether it was Sunday? I didn't gamble Sunday. I mean, Saturday for me was just Duke. I think Saturday was just Duke. Did the Lakers play? Or the OKC play? OKC wasn't Saturday. Yeah, Saturday for me was Duke. And actually the Heat. Well, no, it don't matter. Duke. Yeah, really Duke. I cashed out the bet live when it was Roberts hit 1 out of 2 free throws. When he hit the first one, I cashed out right there. So I lost half my money. I ain't that mad at it, but you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Over the past weekend, I had OKC money line sell me. I know T said LeBron ain't get 5 rebounds, and LeBron had 0 rebounds, I think, on Friday or Saturday. So that's one bad beat for T. I know Ted's with me on the 25 for SGA. Jaja, good morning. Yeah, man, Duke, Curry sold you. Oh. It's funny because OG came in the playback room yesterday and was like, I don't know, because Ted like, should I take Curry 17, 18? OG was like, I don't know, bro. Because the way they were playing defense on him, and you see it, like the man finished for 3 points. We obviously gonna get into that a little later on, but he finished for 3 points. So, hey, let me put my headphones on. Reminder to everybody that's in here, or anybody that's new in here, the slogan is "Speak Your Mind." So, if you ever want to come on the stage and talk sports or share your thoughts in regards to whatever the topic is, feel free. The link to join the stage is in the chat below. The link to join the stage is in the chat below. We're gonna start the show off with we're gonna bypass. Well, let me do not bypass. Let me see some love real quick. Nathaniel Lowe home run sold plus 39, and Trout sold the 2 home run plus 53K. My goodness. We're gonna show some love real quick to anybody who you feel like is a player or players of the day over the weekend. Player and or players of the day over the weekend before we get into our first topic of the day. Players and or players of the day over the weekend. OG, what's going on? Crier, LJ, 2 LJ shouts. Amin Thompson shout. Anybody got any players of the day? Don't matter the sport. Sarah Sean, okay. Walter Clayton. Walter, I like that one. I'll probably rock with the Walter Clayton one, to be honest. Yeah, I'm with Blake. I'm with Walter Clayton. Luka had a hell of a game last night. That's a good shout. Walter OV2, Clayton and Sean for sure. I didn't see what Sarah did last night. I didn't bother even clicking that box score because how the game was. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna obviously talk about that in a second as well, briefly. But I didn't even click that box score, so I don't even know. Booker's a good shout out. Shout out to Booker. It's a little unfortunate what's going on with him right now. And that 20 likes on this video already, by the way. Thank y'all. It's a little unfortunate what's going on in that whole little Phoenix situation, man. It's just terrible. It's really just terrible. All right. Thank y'all for participating with some of the names in the chat. We're gonna go ahead and start it off with a legend. You know what I'm saying? And we got the man himself, Z Farm, up here to talk about it. I didn't even know this was on the cusp or the brinks of happening until Z Farm literally told us someday last week. I can't remember the exact day. He said something about it, like someday last what is it? On Friday or Saturday. If he had 3 goals, he didn't set the all-time record. I think he had 2 that game and then followed it up yesterday. Man, but Alex been playing hockey since I was in damn near middle school. Like, no funny. Since I was in middle school, he been playing hockey, probably even elementary. So I for him to get what he got was he from is going to explain in a second. It's a blessing to be able to witness that. That's like LeBron James being an all-time scoring leader. So Z from Alex Ovechkin broke Wayne Gretzky's record with 895 goals in 1,487 games. Wayne did it in the same amount of games. So how do you feel about that? And what's your whole thoughts on the whole Alex breaking the record thing?
Yeah, this is a record that I never thought he would break. I'm going to be honest with you. As someone who has watched Ovechkin really ever since I was into hockey, when I was 9, I always thought that there was a chance that he could do it, but I never thought it was possible. I never thought that Gretzky's record, which is one of the hardest, in my personal opinion, one of the hardest records to break in sports, was able to be broken. There was a lot of adversity for Ovechkin to break this record. Earlier in the year, I think a couple games in, he broke his fibula, was out 6 to 8 weeks. A lot of people were questioning, is he going to get it? Because a lot of people know the window's coming up soon. Next year, they said it's potentially the last year. They said he's going to finish out his contract, and then he's done. And the year before, he wasn't great. He was average. The signs of being a 40-year-old start showing for Ovechkin last year. And a lot of people thought, well, is the decline happening? Is he going to come back next year and he's going to get 15 goals, 20 goals? He came back better somehow. I don't know how he did. He came back better. After breaking his leg, he scored 30 goals in, I think, 37 games. That is something that a 40, or yeah, he's 40. I'm going to call him 40. He's a 40-year-old should not be doing. It's incredible. He's one of the greatest athletes I've personally witnessed in my time. I've witnessed a lot of great athletes. I've seen Ray Lewis. I've seen Ed Reed. I've seen Lamar Jackson. I've seen great baseball players come through the windows of Camden Yards. I've seen good basketball players. I've seen LeBron James. Alex Ovechkin, for what he is doing against the competition that he's playing against and playing at such an elite level, he's one of the greatest athletes I have ever witnessed play sports. It's ridiculous. A 40-year-old should not be scoring 40 goals, Ev. I want to put that in perspective. A lot of guys, 50, it's hard to reach. Now, obviously, I think there's 6 games left. I don't think he'll get 50 this year. But there's a good shot he gets 45. 45 for Ovi would be incredible at this age because he really should have 1K. And that alone should be crazy. But he should have 1K. There was a lot of lockouts, a lot of things, because he was a very healthy guy before this year. I think that fibula injury was the first time he was out for quite a while. But he's normally a 82 player or 82 game type guy, 70 game type guy a year. And he gives you consistent time on the ice, and he gives you goals. He should be a 1K guy. And that he should have broke the record years ago. But those lockouts happened. They were extended periods of time. The COVID season obviously happened, so they took a lot of games from him. But, yeah, I never thought this record would be broken. But
how many games in the season?
82.
And he's average like around a 70 per game season guy, you saying?
Yeah, he's normally 70. The only 2 times I think he was below that total was the COVID season, 20 and 21. And then 12-13 was a lockout year for him.
So you know how in hockey you have your goalies, right?
Yes.
The ones What is it? What are they labeled in hockey? Like the ones that are attacking? Are they attackers? Like what are they? Like what is Alex like?
He's a winger. So
A
he's
winger. Okay.
yeah. So there's wingers, there's centermen, there's defensemen. He's probably the best winger of all time.
Okay.
Obviously, there's a lot of good centers out there. There's
So
Crosby.
Sydney was he's a center. Okay.
Yeah, he's a center.
Okay.
Crosby's a center. So yeah, Crosby, that's been his rival, his comparison throughout his
Yeah.
career.
Facts,
It really
facts.
depends on who you pick. Because again, you can choose the goal scorer, you can choose the guy who gets the most assists. I know a lot of people will pick Crosby, but to score 900 goals, which he will, 910, I think he'll finish around 920, 925, something like that. I think he'll get 30 next year. So to finish around 920 goals when he should have had 1,000 is one of the most impressive feats in NHL history. They're both Mount Rushmore guys, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
no disrespect to both of them, but I just prefer Ovechkin because he's in an era where goaltending got better. To score 900 goals, it's absolutely incredible. So, just shout out to Ovechkin. That's a feat that I never thought would be broken. There's 2 records in my lifetime I never thought would be broken. I don't think this one will ever. If it somehow does, I'll probably be in here talking about it. The Pete Rose hit record and Gretzky's goal record.
Nobody's breaking LeBron record.
We'll see.
That all time, nobody's breaking because
We'll
you gotta have the durability. You have the durability for 20 years and being an elite scorer for 20 years. Like that's a long time. You got to be super durable, can't get hurt, can't miss a season or two, and then on top of that, be a 25 point per game guy for 20 plus years. Like I don't know. I don't think nobody's touching that. But what's the other one you said? Alex, and what's the other one?
The Pete Rose hit record. 4,200 something hits. I don't expect that to ever be broken in my lifetime. If someone does, I'll be very shocked.
What year was that?
That was in the 80s. Pete Rose. That was
he had 4,200 hits in one baseball season.
In a career.
All time.
Yeah,
I'm about to
time. Yeah.
One season is a ridiculous question, but
yeah,
all time 4,000. How many years did he play? 4,200.
He played a lot of years. Let me.
Do you know who's the closest to that, like active player or?
Nobody's close to 3,000. I think Altuve is the closest one, but he won't get it. So that's what I'm saying. That is a longevity as well. That's someone who has to be consistent for 15, 20 years at an elite level. So that's what it is, though. That's what these records come down to, and this is what it's like. These goal records, the LeBron points record, the hits record, longevity, durability, eliteness.
Yep.
At that same time. So that's what it's going to take. But yeah, I mean, this is good for the Capitals. Just to finish up here, wrap it up. This is good for the Capitals to finally get this off their plate right for the playoffs. They're the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. They're very close to the President's Trophy, which is the number 1 team in the league as a whole. It's good to get this off their plate because they need to start locking in. They're 6 games away from arguably one of the biggest cup runs in their era because this is one of the last Ovechkin runs they're going to get. So we'll see. But just to watch the record get broken as a Capitals fan as well is incredible. So, just shout out to Ovechkin, man. Absolutely incredible. Good stuff. That history was made. If it doesn't feel like it yet, but history was made. And it's a good thing because it's good for the sport. Got a lot of viewership, a lot of eyes on the sport yesterday, and glad it was our guy that did it. So shout out to my guy, Ovi, man.
That's amazing. Thank you for coming up here and sharing that. Heaven Center Risha was good. He played 24 years. My goodness. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's a record I did not know about. I do know about it now. That would not get broken. 4,200 plus hits all time, and you played 24 years. My goodness. Before we wrap this up and move on to UConn winning it all, which should be a brief pit stop as well. So what are some negative things that's being said about Alex setting his record? I see one comment. I don't know if it's a troll or not, but over 2,000 more shots on goal though. What does that mean? Like, why is that a bad thing? I don't get that.
Well, there's been a lot of negative stuff about him. Obviously, one of the main things that I saw and I have kind of been paying attention to was the empty goals, the empty net goals, which is when they pull the goalie. There's no goalie in. Ovechkin leads the NHL all time. He passed Gretzky last year with that. But yeah, I mean, he's a guy. He's not.
What is that? Empty goals. Why do they do that? Why do they
empty net goals? So when they pull the goalie, so when say the Capitals are up 1-2 goals, they pull the goalie. so they can get an extra attacker. So it'd be a 6-on-5 instead of a 5-on-5, or an extra. So yeah,
to
Ovechkin
score to tie
leads.
the game, basically.
Yes, and Ovechkin leads the NHL all time in empty net goals. That is something I did see was a criticism of the record, but obviously, goal is goal.
Wait, hold on. How many empty net goals do we have, though?
I think he's got like 50, 60, something like that.
Oh,
But he broke Gretzky last year. But he cleared Gretzky last year, I think, by like 7 goals. So that's why people are complaining, because he's like, oh well, he's got way more empty nets than Gretzky. But it is what it is. So but he's a goal scorer. I don't. Yeah. He's not Crosby, where he focuses assists. He's not a 1,000 assist guy. He will never be. He's a goal scorer. He's a guy that lines up in his office on the circle and he shoots the puck.
So is it a world? Because again, I don't know too much about hockey. I know how the game is played and things of that nature. But is there a world where they can make that empty net goal, or maybe just say the goalie become an attacker, and Alex can sort of kind of like, in basketball terms, cherry pick, and then if they get they take the puck away, they hit Alex and he shoots it from far out where there's no goalie there? Like, is it scenarios like that?
He never cherry picks with it. They have to play defense. Normally it's it's an extra man, so they normally line up in a power play type defense. So he can't cherry pick, because it would be a 6-on-4, and that would be even worse.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not really that he cherry picks it, but the Capitals, they knew the goal record was close. When he broke Hal, the empty netters started to get a little too crazy, but yeah, they were just trying to focus Ovi, make sure he got the puck, and if he got it, he shot it. So it is what it is. But yeah, he's not a assist guy. He's not a guy that's a pass first guy. If he gets it, he's ripping it, and he normally rips it in. So I think a lot of people are mad about it. I know a lot of Penguins fans are. I did notice that they were talking about Crosby, which also is a very important record. Points per game. He averages, I think, the first 15 seasons he's had of 20 points. He has a point per game in all of his games, which is an assist and goal tallied together. So that's also a huge record, which is why I said both are Mount Rushmore guys. So
yeah. Is Sidney still playing?
Yeah, Sidney's still playing as well, and I think he'll be around for a couple more years.
He got to be up there in that age too, right? Well, how old is he?
Yeah, he's I think a year behind, so he's 38.
Yeah, I say, bro, all my life, growing up, all you heard was Alex and Sidney, growing up, literally. Damn, okay. Yep. Thank you, man. Thank you. And NHL playoffs start when?
Mid-April, kind of same time around the NBA playoffs. I think a week before. So yeah. Okay.
I gotta catch a hockey game. I gotta catch a hockey playoff game. Risha, you're so funny, dog. It's good to see you in here. I gotta catch a hockey playoff game. Thank you, Z Farm. Reminder to everybody that's in here. If you are not a member, I would love for you all to become a member. How can you become a member? The link is in the description on this video. Also, feel free to send super chats and super stickers at any time. And most importantly, do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. 32 subscribers away from 1,000. 32 subscribers away from 1,000. So if you are in here, you're not subscribed, make sure you are subscribed to the platform. We're going to go ahead and do a little quick piss stop on what UConn achieves. For me, once Juju was ruled out of I want to say it was the Elite 8 matchup, and UConn steamrolled past USC, and I saw the Final Four field with UCLA, Texas, South Carolina. For me, I just thought UConn was going to win it all. Simple put, the South Carolina team obviously is good whenever they're led by Don Staley. But from the previous team that we done saw with Asia and Cardosa and many, many more that came through that I can name, I don't think that this team was on the level of those teams. Let me put it like that. And then this UConn team, which is really damn good, so just really damn good. Paige healthy. I think her name was Ozzy. I want to say her name correctly. Ozzy. AZ. Thank you, Sosa. She's healthy. And then Sarah Strong. So them three led the way majority of the games this whole entire year, and definitely especially in this tournament. That led UConn to pretty much steamrolling past South Carolina 82-59. And Paige capped off an amazing, I cannot stress it enough, an amazing collegiate career. And I seen something yesterday floating on the timeline, which is funny, but talking about the 2020 draft class where they all got national championships besides Caitlin Clark. So special draft class. And I'm gonna read off Paige career
Recruiting class.
Recruiting class. I said draft class. Thank you, brother. My mind is all over the place, but thank you. She's the fastest UConn player to 2,000 points, 3 times Big East Player of the Year.
Most
MOP
outstanding
was
player. Most outstanding player.
Thank you. Most outstanding player of the tournament. All Big East, 1 time with an Naismith and AP Player of the Year, 3-time first team All-American, and then tops it off with a national championship. Next up is the WNBA, and should be headed to the Dallas Wings with the first overall pick in the draft. And they have not won since 2016, by the way. So that's also a good thing for the UConn women's team, I would say. But so you came up. I want to see if you got any comments on Paige overall as a player, and then just UConn winning it all last night.
Few things. I think it's time that we have a conversation about Gino Auriemma being the best coach ever, period. Men's, women's, no matter what. He's not proven that he can win in every era. He has beaten every single head coach that's won a championship since he won his last one, which is insane. Also, my biggest takeaway from yesterday, obviously, great collegiate career from Paige Beckers. But Sarah Strong yesterday is who was most impressive to me. And I think that's what I came away. That's who I came away talking about more. You know what I mean? She was the missing link because we've seen South Carolina, why were they so dominant, like you were just speaking on at the beginning, why they were so dominant the last decade, because they were able to recruit bigs. They can't shoot the ball. They got a bunch of bigs that could get rebounds, second chance, third chance, and they just beat you because you couldn't score a bucket at the rim.
Yep.
And I think yesterday showed us two things. One, Sarah Strong is going to be really, really great. And because what you'll see next year is they'll build the offense around her, the player like Jokic. That's what I'm excited to see. Mm. She's going to be the initiator of the offense next year. And you're going to see a bunch of dribble handoff actions with AZ, and it's going to be pretty interesting to see. Like I said, I'm already looking forward to next year. But very disappointing on South Carolina's part. Trash defensively, could play with no pace. And we also need to start having a conversation about Malaysia Fulwiley probably being the most overrated prospect in the last 5 years. We need to have that conversation. You can't shoot 30% from three and start talking about you're one of the best, you're this, you're that. The Steph Curry deal is cool, but we need to really have a dialogue because she was simply unplayable at times, which is insane when you think about it. She cannot shoot threes, so you can play drop the whole game. You don't even have to pick her up till the foul line. But you want to talk about her in the light of being one of these great players. She's not. There's a reason why Dawn had her on the bench. Listen, if you're going to give people a lot of credit beforehand because they played on a really good team that won a championship as a freshman, she was absolutely disappointing. Disappointing is not even the fucking word. She was ass. She came in the game, immediately turned it over back to back. She was fucking horrible. So that was another thing. So that's, obviously South Carolina is going to be there next year again.
Yeah.
Because the front line's going to be good. And obviously they get Ashlyn back who tore ACL. That's something people also didn't speak about. Ashlyn Watkins tearing her ACL midway through the season and them losing her. No one really even brought that up. Remember she dunked in a game and then 5 days later she got hurt. So that's someone they'd be missing all year that no one even speaks on. But again, shout out to Gino. And yeah, get ready for next year. I'm sick because I'm a South Carolina fan, but very happy for Paige. The whole generational player. She's always been a generational player. And we all know the honest truth that we've heard from some others that, had she not gotten hurt, Caitlin Clark probably would still be a household name, but not to that extent, respectfully. I know that's your Lord and Savior. So I'm a mind my business.
I was about to tie CC into it. Obviously, because I knew about Paige before I knew about CC. That's a fact. I mean, everybody did, to be honest. Let's be real. For the most part, I don't want to say everybody, but going into the NBA though, do you think her transition will be smooth? Do you think she will pick up the game as quick as CC did? I think she picked it up around game 10, 15. Things of that nature. We know she let the fever to be throughout the rest of the year. How do you think Paige and her impact will be on the Dallas Wings and her WNBA season as a rookie?
Same as Caitlin Clark.
Okay.
She'll adjust to the game fine. She gets her teammates involved. She got a really good scorer next to her. she's still a generational player. I think people just act like, again, she was in college for 5 years. 5 years is a long time, right? So
Yeah.
I think you give, you could make an argument out the gate that they'd be the best backcourt in the WNBA from day one. And you can't dispute it because young players come into the league all the time and dominate. It's not like some crazy transition. Like
you would like that backcourt over CC and Kelsey?
Yes. Rika is the best scorer in basketball, in women's basketball. She's the best scorer, period. To go alongside a guard that can do everything, Paige can score, rebound, pass, and play defense. What's not to like?
She is super chuck though. Do you think she the best scorer because of how it looks like, or like?
I mean,
like,
it's
how she get to it, or
outside. Remember, Satu. When did Satu come back? Right before the Olympics. Who on that team she had to be a jack. Who on that team was a viable number 2 that you could trust night to night? Be honest, nobody.
So you think? So okay. So who do you think will have the better overall? If you just had a guess, like who would you rather have on your team, CC or Paige? Obviously, we didn't see Paige in the WNBA, but who would you rather have going forward?
I still would take Caitlin Clark. Based on what I've seen now, I would take Caitlin. Again, I think Paige is going to have a great pro career. I think she's going to be an all-star level player, right? But Caitlin Clark, the way she plays is unlike any other player. The range that she has as a shooter and her ability to play in the pick and roll is different. Now, Paige is probably going to be better defensively, and that will probably be a detriment for Caitlin Clark her whole career. I don't think she'll be like some great high-level defender.
Yeah.
I think Paige has that defensive upside where she could probably lock people up. You know what I mean? CC don't have that. Also, Paige is, physically a little, she's bigger, she's stronger. So, But again, if I had to pick right between them two, it'd be Caitlin Clark without hesitation.
Okay. That's a bold statement. I'm not mad at the statement. If she can come in and like you said, the transition is not smooth, but she picks it up as quick as CC did, then I'm with you, or I could be with you at the best backcourt because I do think Enrique is better than Kelsey, but obviously we think CC is better than Paige. But it's not about it's not about Paige being better than CC. So, I think I can. I don't know. We'll see how it looks because for me, I think the CC and the Kelsey. The CC and the Kelsey 1-2 in the backcourt is like. I love it. Like they love each other. They love playing with each other. The cohesion is all together. It's 100% there. Like they know how to operate. So obviously we got to see how Paige and Enrique. I think D-Mac was one of the ones that didn't even want that pairing to happen. D-Mac, were you on that side? With you being up here, you're not a fan of Paige and Enrique in the backcourt, right? Was that you?
No, I'm fine with that pairing. Ideally, if that transitions Enrique into being the scoring guard that she should. You know what that pairing reminds me of? That reminds me of, and this is going to be a comparison because obviously we've seen both of these players play at such a high level in the NBA. But
you gonna say
this reminds me of
Luka and Kyrie?
No, not Luka and Kyrie. No, it's the same idea. It's when we got Harden to add to Kyrie. You add the all-around guard that more wants to be in control of the game from a pure point guard perspective, which Harden was, and transitions the other guard into their more scoring role, which I think Enrique does ultimately want to do. I think that's why it works so well for her at Notre Dame as well. So that pairing makes a lot of sense as far as those two players lining up. And obviously, Dallas isn't going to be dumb and not pick Paige number 1. So,
okay, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Also, listen, when you say transition, bro, we always see these. Like, be honest, when you in the WNBA, the young players immediately kind of ascend, bro. The ones that are good immediately ascend. It's not like some huge transitional period where you know what I mean? You can't say that CC objectively was bad at any point last year. It was just, like you said, a slight adjustment period. But the talent usually shines through.
Yeah. You're talking about a league that has incredible talent already in it. But when you're talking about these players, because of what the college rules are, they are, seasoned and they're ready to make that transition. Obviously, again, we talk about the short period of time in between this college season ending and then going to the pros. There's going to be a level of adjustment that these women have to go through from that standpoint because it's going to be difficult. You got to go there. You're coming off a long season. You're going to struggle with the physicality, especially when you're talking about a smaller guard from that perspective. I expect Paige to go through it the same way I expected Caitlin to go through it. And ultimately, I think that you'll see as the season goes on that Paige will continue to get better, just the same way we saw CC get better and play like, the true number 1 overall pick that they both deserve to be. As far as the choice between 2 of them, I think it completely depends on what you want. If you've got a team that you feel like needs really that extra scoring load to be put from that guard position, I think that you can favor CC. I do have a soft spot in my heart as far as being that all-around point guard. Paige reminds me a lot of, kind of the impact that CP3 was able to have. I think it's on both ends of the floor, that all-around game that what she brings to the table from a point guard controlling it. I think that does help a lot, and I think that makes a lot of sense as far as Dallas is concerned. But no, I think you're splitting hairs as far as between these two, and I think it really comes down to what type of point guard you are running the show. And I can see an argument for either.
I'm not mad at the Harden Kyrie. The Luka Kyrie thing too would be similar as well, right? And I also think if we're looking for a female equivalent, it's kind of more Sue Bird and Brianna, but obviously Brianna was super efficient as a scorer, right? And it'd be in reverse. The scorer would be getting drafted later as opposed to the point guard secondary. Again, I think Paige is gonna be a superstar in the league. I think we all know that. But again, I think her and Enrique they'd be really good together. I don't see why it wouldn't work.
CC is arguably a top 5 player right now. Do we think year 1 Paige can get up to top 7, top 6, top 7, anything like that?
Depends on team success.
Do you think CC's arguably top 5 right now?
If she's not in your top 5, then what the fuck are you watching?
Okay, so just making sure we're on the same page. And you said
she's not personally in mine, but
she's not. She's not. Right, hold on. You watched her the last 15 games, and there were 5 players better.
No, not the last 15 games. No, there were not 5 players better the last 15 games. I will certainly agree with you.
Okay, bet.
Cool. Top 5, no.
All right, because I'm a hater. I'm a Caitlin Clark hater.
Top 10. No doubt about it. No 2 ways about it. Anybody that says outside the top 10 is hating. That's just me personally, but
Who's your 5? Who's your 5 for why Caitlin Clark is not a top 5?
You have my 5 in your.
No, I needed one more to know.
I'm not doing this again with you.
No, I'm not going to make it a whole conversation. I promise I'm not going to.
I'm not doing this again with you. You have my 5 of your notes up. We're not getting sidetracked.
Okay, I don't remember the notes exactly, and I cannot bother pulling it up right now.
You take Stewie. You take Stewie over her today?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you're
Alyssa Thomas.
No, not 18. I don't have 18.
Okay, so you moved on that. Jewel Lloyd, I think Jewel Lloyd was in there.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
I like Jewel Lloyd.
You take her over CC?
Over CC?
That was one of the ones that I had in the conversation. Yes.
See, also, bro, like I listen. I don't defend D-Mac.
But here's the thing.
Last year she didn't
both
want to
of
be
you
in
like, hey,
Seattle.
she's absolutely the best point guard, correct?
You can't go off last year with her.
Yeah, she definitely
didn't want to be there.
Again, I know Gray was hurt for a majority of last year. So
no, she's better than fucking Gray. Stop.
Okay.
Again,
Ev, this is my point. You have my list. So I'm not doing this conversation again with you. We do this literally every 3 months, so I'm not doing it again.
Okay.
You have my list, Ev.
D-Mac, I'm sorry.
D-Mac. Continue to disagree on
D-Mac, hold on, D-Mac.
Yeah.
Chelsea Gray, she came to last season hurt. She waited till she got quote-unquote healthy to play basketball. D-Mac, there's no way in hell you think, even with Chelsea Gray at her, whatever you saw from her last year, or whatever the case may be, this CC is better than Chelsea Gray. Point blank, period. This CC is better than Jewel Lloyd, point blank, period.
I'm sorry. I had them in the conversation as far as top 10 possible players. But as far as this is concerned, Asia, Stewie, I still have Fee over her. Yeah, I still have JJ over her, and I still think Gray is right there as far as that's concerned too.
Nah, no way.
That's fine. Y'all want me just to hand it over to the Rick?
Bro, Chelsea Gray not even better than Jackie Young no more.
I just don't see it that way.
It's not even that, bro. Like, she was arguably the best player.
No,
don't say
arguably the best player. She's not touching none of them top 3. She's not touching none of them top 3, Sosa.
When they came back,
y'all want to say that she was top 5,
when they came back,
top 3.
When they came back from the fucking Olympics, bro.
No, she was not better than any of those players. It's not a conversation. Y'all want to say she was a top 5 player after the Olympics? No problems as far as I'm concerned, but she's not touching none of them top 3. No.
Bruh, D-Mac, we both like the Liberty. D-Mac, she is touching John Quayle. She's right there. She's touching John Quayle. There's not no gap
As far
between
as the
CC
back
and John
half of the
Quayle.
season, I have no issues with you saying that she was touching Jacko. I don't have any issues with you saying that she was a top 5 player in the back half of the season. That's not a big deal to me. If you're saying me to rank my top 5 players, no, she would be outside that top 5, and she's not touching the top 3.
So that's okay. I get what you're talking about. Players rated post the full season. I get it. Okay, it's subjective, bro. I don't see how she's not top 5. Like, to me, she's like 5, 4, 5. You can, but I think. And your 3 were who? Asia, Fee,
Asia, and Stewie.
Yeah, I can't be mad at Stewie. I mean, I listen. I can't
You
be.
said Stewie at 3. I thought you said John Quayle at 3. Okay.
From legendary
the top
status.
3
I
Stewie,
guess.
those are the top 3. I would have John Quayle 4. That me personally, I would, and I think that I don't know, when you have an all-around point guard that controls the game so well, and I know the fact that she was hurt last year, and it's tough for me to just be like, I can throw
no guard control the game better than Caitlin Clark. No guard controls the game better than Caitlin Clark. No guard better than her. No.
I would. They don't call her the point guard for no reason, brother.
Yeah, but she don't control the game better than she. Well, okay, I respect the Chelsea Gray. I don't want to go too far. Respect the Chelsea Gray. Hell of a player, but I don't think who she is right now, because she's not gonna be better than her next year either. So it's like, how do you think she's better than her right now? She's not gonna be better than her next year either. Unless you think she can be better than her next year.
Said it too. I don't know if she's better than Young either. So even if you don't like the Gray,
no, Young is better than Gray. That's what I'm telling you. Young is better than Gray right now. That's what I'm telling you.
But their games are different. I can't. I'm not. Listen, I get what D-Mac is saying, because I don't think, because see, this is where you being new to the WNBA, Ev, is kind of like hazy. Because listen, Gray is really one of them, bro. When she's right,
I'm well aware of Chelsea Gray.
I can understand. I can understand what D-Mac is saying. I don't agree with him.
Who am I though? I've been watching for the last 3, 4, 5 years. I'm well aware of Chelsea Gray. The run that she went on 2 years ago for them to win it all was phenomenal. The way she was scoring from the mid-range area, the way she was getting her teammates involved, the way she was handling and controlling the game. Yes, I understand that. But what I just
you know what I think it is?
And they went back to back.
So I just watched, and again, this is not apples to apples, and I'm not trying to make it so, because it is worth mentioning. But the Gray that I saw in Unrivaled looked like the Gray that I saw dominate the entire playoffs from 2 years ago.
He ain't lying.
If that's the Gray that I see coming into this league, I'm still taking that Gray over CC coming into this year.
Okay, respect. Okay, respect. I can't push back to that then. Yeah, that's respect. I can't push back to that.
And then that also that also plays into recency bias. Fair. That's fair.
That's fair. But you also said off the last, since the break.
Yeah,
so.
no, I get it. Listen, right now, Caitlin's in my top 5. I can't. She was nigga.
I don't think that's a crazy take. Like, I'm not trying to make it seem like a crazy take. It's just one that I disagree with. She would be in my, 6 to 8.
But she ain't 6. For you, she ain't even 6.
It's arguable.
We'll see, man. I can't wait to talk WNBA with you all. As soon as next month, when the preseason starts, actually, I think May 1st or 2nd. I think it's 2nd.
Man, that turnaround is nuts.
Yeah, it's really damn quick. No funny. When is the WNBA? Oh, 7 more days. Damn, 7 days into the draft.
Immediately, straight to it. That's how they always do it.
Yeah. My goodness. But next, we got a couple of teams folding and or letting down. I never seen 2 teams back to back do what Auburn and Duke did. Same day, within the same hour, within the same time span. Obviously, Duke's was worse, in my opinion. We're going to go ahead and start it off with Auburn first. We had Auburn play against Florida on Saturday. We got Billy Fee is top 2, in my opinion. D-Mac had her in her top 3. So she's top 3, Billy. Auburn played against Florida. And the reason why you see in the title Auburn/Duke foes, because for me, I think both teams literally folded. Like, literally both teams folded in the worst way. I think for me, Duke was worse because they had more control over the game, with it being closer to them winning the game. Like, it was 10 minutes to go, and they had a decent lead with that type of team that they have. As far as Auburn, their best game or their best brand of basketball came in the first half, which is still being 20 minutes to go. So it's a 10-minute difference. But to start at the top of this game with Florida versus Auburn, Florida got the win 79-73. I want to say they were down by 8. Yeah, they were down by 8 at halftime. And it looked like Auburn was in control of this game. They were playing really good basketball, offensively and defensively. They were clicking. You had Baker Mazar knocking on a couple of shots. You had Miles Kelly. You had Denver Jones. You had Broom. The whole nine. They were scoring inside and out. I think the only one of the biggest weak spots for them was Taha didn't really, let me look at the box score. He didn't really give them anything from an offensive standpoint. Yeah, he was 1 for 6 over 4 from 3, and he had 7 points, 3 turnovers. So him not being present, sort of kind of obviously altered the impact, the outcome of this game from an obvious standpoint. Miles Kelly wasn't his best self either. I know you see that you guys see the field goal attempts, but I'm telling you, a lot of them, they started to miss shots in the second half. Like the second half is where they was missing shots. They were playing a really good game of basketball in the first half, in my opinion. As far as Florida side of things, if you're going to get up on them, you got to put them away. Like if you're going to get up on Florida, you got to put them away because they have 3 to 4 guys from a guard/wing perspective that can even score or shoot the piss out of a basketball. And that's Walter, that's Elijah, that's Will, and that's Thomas. I don't even think Will did much this game. Yeah, Will didn't do nothing this game. He was 1 for 6 over 3 from 3. But when you get to the other 3 names that I just said, Walter 11 for 18, Elijah 6 for 10, Thomas 4 for 7. That's 3 guys that can score and or shoot the ball really well. And they did that. I mean, look no further than Walter Clayton Jr. This is a guy that is a lot of people are talking about. This is a guy that a lot of people are saying this is an NBA player. He should get drafted here. Team better not pass on him. Things of that nature. I think he was a second-round pick coming into this tournament. I think he's worked his way probably to the late first range right now. And last night he had 34 points. Saturday night, 34 points. A lot of that came into the second half. He had back-to-back 30 balls in the Elite 8 and Final 4 that have not been done since like 1980 or something like that, or 91 or 90. I'm sorry, I forgot the exact year. But yeah, man, a lot of their run in the second half came to them. They keyed in on defense. They played good defense on Broom down low in the second half. I think he had 12 at halftime, finished with 15, and he played in 34 minutes.
One field goal in the second half.
Yeah,
absolutely embarrassing. Fucking embarrassing.
So yeah, man. I mean, listen, I think I got that from Byron. But Walter, man, special player. Big shot after big shot. And then to have a running mate like Elijah Martin, a transfer actually, you know what I'm saying, and pair it up with them in the backcourt, it's special, man. So shout out to Florida for staying composed, staying with it, and ultimately getting a win, man. I truly enjoyed this game. For me, this was like I said on Saturday, this was my national championship because I thought that Duke and Houston, I'm not going to say it wasn't going to live up to the hype, but I didn't think it was going to be that good of a game. And we've seen at points in times in that game where Duke is up 10, 11, 12, 13. Now, did I expect what happened to happen? No, but we'll get to that in a second. Do anybody else got any comments on Florida versus Auburn on Saturday?
Walter Clayton. That's all I got.
Yeah, he's unbelievable, bro. You talking about a dude just understands the moment. Yeah, you just gotta. He should win most outstanding player, win or lose tonight. That's how great he's been in this tournament.
It's been spectacular.
He's just ridiculous.
And then, obviously, we're gonna have time to talk about it, but people, got him as far as the draft is concerned.
Yeah,
falling down the board. I'm like, I don't know how you can come up with 30 prospects that would keep him out of the first round. If I'm a team that can add that type of guard shooting off the bench and a tight handle, I mean, I don't see how he falls out of the first round. But that's obviously regardless of what we're talking about. But yeah, I know you kind of framed it. I know the Tigers got up early and then Florida was able to storm down. But just based on what I've seen from both of these teams, obviously in the SEC the entirety of the season, to me it wasn't necessarily a collapse. It was just both these teams, just kind of doing a game of runs like basketball tends to be. At least maybe it's just the framing and the obviously what happened to Duke later on. But I don't know. I didn't feel like it was a collapse. I think it was games of runs, and Florida walked them down. And Clayton did what he's done the entire tourney.
Also, this is proof of if you win the NIL Olympics, you can win in college basketball. Walter Clayton started his career at Iona. He wanted everything to end up with Pitino. St. John's did not have the money to match what Florida could, and that's why he's in Florida today. So
You know what's funny? Because I saw him in that picture with Rick, right? And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, when Rick went to Saint, why did he not take Walter if he knew how good Walter was?
He
Obviously,
tried to.
I didn't even
Got
know
the
that.
money, bro. They didn't
But I
have it.
literally was thinking that the other day. So I'm glad you just told me that.
Like they would have had to have given Clayton like 60% of the budget, like just to get him to pull up. I think he's also from Florida.
Yeah,
Florida.
he is. Yeah, he
So
is.
like
Yeah.
that also played into it. He got to go home, but yeah, it's crazy. And then also look at the other side. Now, I know we're going to get into the next game, but LJ Cryer tonight can become the first college basketball player to win a championship with two different teams.
Facts. Yep.
So if you want to see what's winning in college sports, go look at the fucking transfer portal.
That's kind of crazy that this would be the first, but I mean, obviously it makes total sense due to the rules and everything. But damn, that'd be crazy that this would be the
Baylor
first
and
time.
Houston. That's crazy, bro. Baylor and Houston like that. Wow.
That
yeah.
Baylor team feels like a fever dream, honestly.
Anybody else got any thoughts on Florida versus Auburn game from this past Saturday?
If a team in the 20s passes on Walter Clayton, you're a fool.
Look, we got
You're foolish.
7,000 fucking picks in the 20s. I hope we use one.
And I'm really looking at y'all, D. I'm looking at Utah. I'm looking at the Nets. I'm looking at a team that can use a player.
There's no reason not to take that type of guy and add him to your team.
Exactly.
There's literally no reason. So I hope.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie. If we get the number one pick, say we do, and we get flagged, shit. If Walter Clayton is there at 19, fucking take him.
Y'all were doing the same shit with Shabazz Napier, respectfully.
Like,
and I'm not trying to sound like a dick, but that's the truth. My bad.
But I mean, just in terms of talent,
LeBron James was doing the same thing with Shabazz Napier. I don't know how excited about Shabazz Napier as he was.
We got to hold on a minute.
No, I think
he's the best senior in this class. In terms of NBA ready players, he's the best senior coming out this year that's declared. I think Yaxley's going back, right? So
yeah, and I know you obviously mentioned Shabazz. I know you say it a little tongue in cheek, but Clayton to be the 6'3", well-built guard that he is compared to some of the other more undersized scoring guards that we've seen maybe come out and not work as well. I think that his body type, but us in general, his game would translate a little bit better to the NBA game than some of these other guys we've seen have, incredible marches or kind of seasoned veterans as far as college basketball, and then come out later on.
If he wins the title, whose run was better, his or Kemba's?
Walter's is probably better.
Kemba's was crazy,
but I know Kemba was
the problem with Kemba. Kemba has a seminal college basketball moment that will never. I don't think it's ever going to be touched because what the Big East was and what now it has become. Doing that in MSG, even before what he did in the tournament,
when he dropped Trout for the game winner,
bro, that shot is forever one of the most iconic shots in college basketball history. Point blank, period. Like that's just what it is.
Facts.
I was just thinking that because like you think of just players who had crazy runs, and also this is another thing for all the Duke fans. Just remember, Coach K won 5 championships. He was on the job for like 150 fucking years, and UConn has won 6 since the year 2000. Fuck Duke.
Speaking of Duke,
and one more happy that made you feel good, bro.
As a North Carolina fan, I feel amazing.
You're a North Carolina fan? Oh my god!
That's his birth. Yeah,
you definitely shouldn't be up here right now.
Why do you think I can't cheer for LeBron? 40-year-old man with a lace front.
What you about to say, Jaja?
And one more thing on Clayton, nobody believes in that Jay Williams top 5 pick narrative he pushing, right?
No,
I didn't even know Jay Williams was doing that, but I don't. That's why I don't even bother.
I do think he should be a first rounder. I truly do believe that, but no, I don't think he should be a lottery.
Listen, top 5 pick. If Walter Clayton gets drafted top 5, whoever the executive is that made that decision won't have a job in 365 days after that. So he'd be careful.
Well, now I hope Sean Marks takes him in the top 5.
Although now that I think Daryl Morey might be dumb enough to do some stupid shit. Hopefully we fire that motherfucker for real.
Y'all are comedy, bro.
We need to fire.
That's what it takes to get Sean Marks fired. I'm down for it.
The second game for last, bro. Y'all are saying y'all rather pass on one of the top prospects just to get Sean Marks fired.
I fucking hate Sean Marks.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yo, the second game from Saturday night was Duke versus Houston. Thankfully, we got two fans, or three actually, uh, of those teams up here to talk about the game. So before I rap or yap on it, I'm gonna just pass it immediately to them and let them kick it off. I'm going to see whether Ari wants to go first as far as the winning side, or Jaja, or let Jordan and the Duke side go first. So how do y'all want to work around it?
I don't care. I don't have a lot to say, so it's up to them.
Y'all can let Duke go then since now. Like,
Yeah. So disappointing. Probably top three disappointing as far as teams not winning shit all time. Well, definitely top three. I don't know if it's one or two. It's between one and two for me. That Zion team is third because that Zion team was whatever. Like they should have won, but they had flaws. If you were watching that season the whole way through, that Duke fans would have been able to tell you about that team. But they still should have won a championship. As far as this game in particular, though, there were things early. Because we were watching the game in playback, there were things early that I was like annoyed with, even when we were up. People thought I was just being like, I guess, fake pessimistic, but it's like I kind of know this team. It's kind of how they lost the couple of the games that they lost earlier in the year, where it's the results are good because you got talent, but the process is just sucks. So like we were up double digits earlier in the first half, but we doing platoon lineup subs in the final four in the semifinal. I see Mason Gillis on the court. I'm seeing Malawak, even though he didn't have a bad game, he was one of the reasons we lost. I'm seeing Malawak and Cooper, who is like the top two pieces of our defensive infrastructure, off the court for like at the same time. And you look at the box score, they played a lot of minutes, but the minutes that they were off the court, they were off the court together. And we doing platoon subs. And against a team like this, who's always going to continue to fight, you can't let minutes just without your best players in the court stack up, even if it's a small amount. And that was happening in the first half. I thought part of the reason Houston got back into the game in the first half is the same reason that one of the things that aided their defense, shutting us down for like that final 10-minute stretch. Now, a lot of that goes to their defense just being one of, if not the best defense in the country, but it's aided by just having the ball at the top of the key, which can work if you got somebody like Walter Clayton as your guards. Not if you have fucking Sion James and Tyrese Proctor. Then that shit not gonna work. They're not breaking down the defense, getting all the way to the rim. They're not, especially Tyrese on Saturday. He wasn't even shooting well. Like he missed all his open threes. Sion missed some open shots. Foster missed some open shots. Our three upperclassmen guards, I keep saying this, the guys who you're supposed to rely upon in the tournament, and it's no surprise and no mistake that the teams that quote unquote collapsed or lost their leads lost to teams who the guards stepped up. There's no coincidence. That's what this tournament is about. So our guards combined for, I think it's 14 points on 20 shots. That's Caleb, Tyrese, and Sion. And you got LJ Cryer out producing that by his damn self. Like it's not a recipe for success. I thought down the stretch, that 10-minute stretch, like I said, a lot of that, if not most of it, was their defense. Khan missed the open look. Proctor and Sion were just horrific, like to close that game. Like you can't have your guards do that and play like that and expect to win the game. Cooper missed the shot. I don't care about the missed shot that much. If we had won that game, we wouldn't talk about how special his performance was in the second half. So I don't fault him for that. I fought him in it was him and I think it was him and Malawak, him and somebody, I can't remember who it was, who on that sharp three, the first one to delete the three, they messed up a switch. And they spoke to it in the press conference. You could see it in the game because I was like, take the angle, take the good angle, take the good angle. I was speaking to it like during the play, and the shit actually ended up burning them. And then they spoke to it in the press conference after the game where they said they messed up the switch. So I do blame them for that. Like, you can't have that defensive mistake in that situation. But the shot, I don't care about him missing that shot that much. Like, you make a shot, you miss a shot. Like, it's whatever. But yeah, no, credit to Houston. They stayed in the game. They didn't give up. They didn't let go of the rope. They just kept the game. We was up 14, yeah, but we were up 14 for like a second. Then they cut the lead back to 11, and they just continued to cut the lead every time we got it up to double digits. And then obviously we saw what happened at the end. The guards choked. I think the coach choked. And again, it's just funny because that's a former Duke champion as an assistant and the point guard and the 3 upperclassmen point guards in the roster, who I think were the biggest reason we lost that game. And then I add, Malawak on top of that because he obviously didn't have a good game. But yeah, that's really it. Disappointing. Top 3 disappointing as far as the team not winning. Top 2 disappointing as far as the team not winning. To me, all time. Maybe there's some older ones that I'm just not aware of and not have in my head right now. There's some of those. I mean, the Fab 5 teams, and then you got some of the Houston teams from back in the day. But this is definitely up there as far as me modern watching basketball. So, yeah, that's really it.
Real quick.
You good?
Nah, I don't really have nothing to say. That John Shire sucks. He's a fucking bozo.
Yeah, I agree.
That's all I got. Because like, there's no. I mean, you can blame the players. You can say Malawak played 20 minutes and didn't record a single rebound, which is fucking insane. I think that's the craziest stat I've ever seen. 7'2" without a single rebound is. Has that ever happened before? That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Jaja or Ari, what's going on with y'all?
I mean, it was good. I guess in this game, even going before it, even like some of the guys that work out film and some of the guys that look over film for the team and everything, they were talked about like if we can keep this game close, we got a chance because Duke hasn't been in too many close games due to how dominant they've been, and in the close games that they've been in, they've lost some. I think it was Kentucky 1. I think Clemson was 1-2. So like, if we could stay in the game, we have a chance. We get off to a good start. So as the game went on, and as we were trying to even stay in the game there, Miles using getting 2 fouls early was kind of really troublesome there because it forced LJ to be in a spot where he has to be able to continue to make shots to take over, and he was able to do a good enough job just to even keep us in this one. But as Duke went out to like even a big lead, the fact that we cut it down to 6 at halftime was very huge for us because it really gave us confidence even be able to stay in the game. But credit to Duke because even though we came out, and even though we was only down 6, we was able to score better in the second half. But Duke was able to score as well too. But we being able to put the defensively like near the end, it's one of the most impressive things that Kelvin Sampson has done as far as coach's perspective. Most of what is what I've been accustomed to because like when you have a good coach like Kelvin, like he's gonna put you in a position where where you're gonna have a chance to be in a position to be able to win the game there. So that's where my comfort was, even though that we were down, that if we could just get 2 or 3 things to go away, 2 or 3 big plays to go away, we would be able to have a chance there at the end too. Well, also, even on Duke's side there too, not being able to inbound the ball, like that was real tough for them. And also, Proctor missing that front of that 1-on-1, that was tough for them. Even though people bring up that call that maybe shouldn't have called, that people had a problem with that could put flag foul on Roberts. But if you're able to capitalize on those situations, then Duke would have been better off. But really, like being able to really like fight to the final whistle, and also being in moments like the game we had against Kansas where it was dire and we was able to get a turnover off an inbound, and Malik Wilson was able to shoot a 3 there that actually tied the game and actually put us in overtime to win that game. Houston's been battle tested in these moments over and over again, and that's why when it came to this moment, it was just a inexperience for Duke as far as even the players and on the coaching staff as well that let them down and really put us in a position to be able to close out that game. And even though Jawan Roberts got fouled, 65% free throw shooter, be in a position to be able to make those 2 free throws was huge to actually put us up in that situation because he wasn't a good free throw shooter coming in, but he worked on it over the summer. I think Kelvin got his big guy shoot like 150 free throws a day to see how much he made. And before he left, he was at 80-some%. So being able to trust the work, being able to commit to the process was why we was able to pull off an amazing comeback. So
Well said, bro. Well said. I'm gonna see if Ari is ready to speak. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and probably say a couple of things. Are you good to speak to the game?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of what I would say has already been said either by Jordan or Jaja. I would say one thing that I have not been happy with us in the tournament prior to the game was that we haven't closed out games well. Um, Tennessee, I mean, we were up by like a million on them, so it didn't really matter. But Purdue and Gonzaga specifically, we did not play well like the last, I would say, 6 minutes of the game. And I thought, that was going to come back to bite us. Um, because typically in that, what we do is we go on like a 3 to 4 minute scoring drought, and then we let teams back in, and our defense falls apart, and then we have to like get real scrappy the last 2 minutes. Um, and I want to say we were really close to getting in for Duke being in the bonus, and so I was worried that even though we were like making these comebacks, and if you were in playback, you saw that I kept calling it a fake comeback. I'm be for real. I didn't think it was real. That it was gonna eventually get to a point where we were gonna just start forcing shit, and we didn't. We did not fall apart in the latter half of the game. We actually played a really good fucking second half, in my opinion, and it especially closed out the game. Obviously, I would say Jordan had said it. I think Duke was up 14. I think it was like 8 or 9 minutes left. Um, and if you really go look at that minute mark, I would say in our previous two games, we just did not play well. And so I was thinking like, shit, well, it's gonna be one of these. Milos isn't having that good of a game. E-Man is gonna do E-Man things. You know, LJ is, LJ, but Jawan really didn't have that good of a game. He kind of pissed me off, to be honest. And I was like, it's just gonna be LJ and freaking JoJo, and they're gonna be the ones that's gonna have to pull us through because before then, I mean, in my mind, before then, Duke for the most part had been kind of like counting everything that we would want to do. And I just didn't really see a way out of it, and we found a way out of it. So I just want to give props to them for really locking in a latter half of the game, the last, I would say, 8 minutes of the game, and kind of like keeping it within scoring distance. And then when it was time to strike, they struck. Um, they struck. Um, even with and I think I'm really happy with their mental because after that JoJo tech where he freaking tried to steal the ball when it was out of bounds, I was like, oh, y'all not being serious. Y'all just, okay. Y'all tried too hard. Y'all not being fucking serious. And the fact that even after that, they still stayed like not just locked in, but stayed aggressive. Um, I was really happy to see. And I was, very proud to see them at the end of games um, make their free throws because we have a very long standing history in just the tournament where we don't make our free throws at the end of games. Versus Miami, we didn't make our free throws. Versus Duke last year, we didn't make our free throws. The freaking Jordan Poole game, I want to say that was 2018 when we were in the Sweet 16. Fabian got fouled on the 3-pointer. He made one of three. Friggin' Jordan Poole came, hit a three, went up, got buzzer beater, game over. Which would have tied the game if he would have hit it. So I was really fucking worried, especially with Jawan being there because Jawan has not been good from the free throw line this tournament. Not the season, but this tournament. He has not been good from the free throw line. And so the fact that, he made both of his when it mattered, and then LJ made both of his to kind of put it out of touching distance when it really, really mattered, I was just very happy to see that, they locked in and they kept their heads on straight and they didn't keep forcing shit and they played really smart basketball.
Well said from you, Jaja, and Jordan. To be honest, thank y'all. To be personally for me, man. I mean, obviously, a lot of people touched on different things in the game. Jordan spoke to as far as the disappointment, top one, top two, whatever the case may be. Um, like, all right, I wouldn't say I thought it was fake. I just didn't think Houston was going to complete it. Like, you can sense the comeback was actually happening. It was going, but I didn't think it was going to be completed. The fact that it was completed is still probably the most stunning part to me. And I wouldn't be surprised if Duke players are still stunned to this day, because one, I want to give Kelvin credit, like pretty much all the credit right now, because And also, not having young guys on the court, that always matters. You can see how composed and calm Houston side were with their experience in playing collegiate basketball for multiple years and things of that nature. But the walk down, it was a surprising but good thing to witness because they didn't get rattled, they didn't get sped up, and they tried to get the look that they wanted to get every single time down. Ari was right. Duke definitely cut off a lot of things that Houston wanted to do throughout that game for sure. Specifically how they defended Juwan Roberts. I spoke to that yesterday in playback. And obviously, I think personally for me, he adjusted in a sense offensively. Instead of trying to spin over to his left all the time, he spent over to the right. I think he scored one time. I think he had another dump off another time as well to score. One guy that I want to give a lot of credit to, I can't remember the possession. I can't remember the time that was left on the clock, but Emmanuel Sharp. It was one time where like they were down like 7 or 6 or something like that, and it might be the shot where he hit the 3, and like they're down this 6, and they need to go fast, right? They, in my eyes, I'm thinking they need to go fast, but he wasn't even moving fast. They like I said, he moved at the pace to where they wanted to make sure they get the look that they're trying to get. And I don't know if it was that 3-point shot.
That was the messed up switch, probably.
Okay,
That
so
was the one I was talking about.
I think it was that play.
On the right wing? On the right wing?
Yeah, but I think that play started, if I'm not mistaken, that play, if this is the same play, that play started with him at the top of the key, like the half court line or something like that. And then I don't know. Either way, but he was composed, he was calm. The switch, yeah, I blame me personally, I blame Flag for that switch part. Not that much like, oh man, Flag, you're at fault for this.
But,
he should have just easily switched off like James did. You know what I'm saying? Obviously he got out of position, he jumped, Emmanuel stepped over, pump fake, step over, boom, knocked down the shot. Biggest shot of the game, 1,000%. Biggest shot of the game. We all know if he missed, game is over. Also, Kelvin, a lot of credit because they were saying on the broadcast they're down 6, and that's like a minute to go. College basketball is 30-second shot clock, as we all know. They were like, why are they not fouling? Why are they not fouling? Kelvin trusted the defense, trusted the team. They didn't foul. I think Khan came down, missed the shot. They came right back. Sharp pitched the 3. Then we all know they get the steal on the they get the steal on the inbound pass. They attempt a 3, they brick. Forgot dude name. He got an offensive rebound, dunk it, put it back. And
Tugler putback.
Yeah, Tugler. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta give Kelvin, Emmanuel, LJ, even Milo's had a tough bucket down the stretch of that to closing out down like the last 5-6 minutes of that game. Like Ari said, he wasn't best offensively. I think he only made like a couple of field goals actually. My computer keeps shutting off and blowing me.
Who?
Milos. Yeah, 3. He only made 3 field goals. You know what I'm saying? So man, I just never witnessed nothing like that to where a team can be up like that and look so comfortable. And like after that Cooper Flag and 1, we all in here like damn. Like to get the and 1 under the basket and finish off like that, you like damn, like it is everything just looked like Duke was going to advance to play Florida, right? Which I predicted when I did my bracket, but credit to Houston. Credit to all their guys. Like I said, like Jordan said, one of the best defensive teams in the country. And it was just a beautiful game to witness. And I can't wait to see this game tonight. But D-Mac, I heard you about to come in here and say something. What you got?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm always a foul up 3. All right, not what I was talking about. But the thing about Sampson, he was able to kind of feel the momentum in that moment and say, hey, I'm going to trust that we can force them into another bad shot. And obviously they were able to do that. So you got to tip your cap to him being able to coach in that moment.
Yep, that's exactly what it was. You felt that momentum shift. Like you felt it, but you feel it, but you just don't feel like it's real. Like, okay, yeah, the momentum can really shift. They can really come back and win this game, but nah, they're not going to. They down 6 with a minute to go. You know what I'm saying? Nah, that's not going to happen. So really shout out to Kelvin, shout out to Milo. I didn't even say Milo, Sharp and LJ, really. And then Robert, like DJ, like Jaja said, 60% something free throw shooter, and he stepped up there and knocked down both. Because on Duke's side, when the guard went to the line and he's the 60% something shooter, he front ended the 1-and-1. So questionable foul call on Cooper Flag, obviously, but it happens. You can't put the game in the ref's hands. It's just that simple. You can't put the game in the ref's hands because they're liable to do anything they want whenever they want, and they don't even get questioned on it. So tough game for Houston. They move on to play Florida tonight at 8:50 p.m. Do not forget, we'll be watching the game live in the Facts and Stats playback room, which is playback.tv/facts and stats. Anybody else have any thoughts or comments on this Florida versus Houston game? Anybody else? Okay, we might be good.
They both lose, bro.
This dude.
We might be good.
And
Thank
all I,
y'all. Go ahead,
yeah, yeah, all I gotta say is, I mean, in these moments, legacy's on the line, but how I look at it is just how you gonna be remembered. This LJ Roberts, Francis, like last game. So
Mhm.
go out the right way.
This is the one they gotta get. I mean, they've this is their seventh time in the Final Four,
Right.
third or fourth time in the chip. One of those, I think. I think it's their third time in the championship.
It's their fourth.
Their third or fourth. I thought they
I
said was
think it's
runner.
our fourth.
I thought they said was runner ups twice yesterday when I looked. I could be wrong
Oh,
though.
okay.
But they gotta get this one done, bro. Like, I know they got a good class coming in next year.
I
And there'll be
don't
some Porto
appreciate
guys.
these expectations.
But I mean, sorry, bro. I mean, you beat you beat one of the best Duke teams of all time, bro. So you got a little
Okay.
expectation. You got a little bit of expectations now, bro. I'm sorry.
Nobody expected us to win it this year. Nobody.
You
Well,
still feel like this is one of the best?
expectations change, bro.
Nah.
Jordan, you still feel like this is one of the best Duke teams of all time?
Yeah, I do. I feel like one of the things that would take away from that, maybe as far as winning a championship, I felt like that 15 team just had like they had the guard play. That's really the separator. They had the guards who were gonna be able to turn up when it was time to turn up. They had Quinn and fucking I don't know why I'm blanking right now. Do play for Memphis. I don't know why I'm blanking. Probably because I'm still thinking about this fucking game. Um, Tyus. I don't know why I blanked on one of my favorite Duke players ever. But they had them two commanding the ship, hitting big shots down the stretch. I mean, if you go back and watch that title game against Wisconsin, and you watch this game, what the fuck is that?
Process just came here
Process.
unmuted, just doing anything.
Bro, like what? If you go back and watch the title game versus Wisconsin, that year and watch the difference in the guard play in that game and how crucial it was versus the guard play in this game. I mean, it's like a complete 180. So I do think this is one of the better Duke teams of all time because they could win in every single way, but there are certainly a couple teams that would beat this Duke team still, and I think it just goes to show that the quote unquote better team as far as talent and what they can do and all the things they can do on paper and maybe even done on the court like this team doesn't always win a championship in college in a tournament because you still need certain elements to be able to win in that respect. So yeah, this has been one of the better Duke teams, but I think other Duke teams would still beat this team.
Hmm. Before I circle the process, I do want y'all to vote on this poll, which will be up for at least 7 hours before game time starting. Is who will be crowned champions tonight? That would be Florida and or Houston. That's on the Fact and Stats page. I also just dropped that in the chat for y'all to easily be able to click it and share your vote on the poll. Process, what's going on? I know you about to speak. We on the Duke and
Yeah.
Houston game.
What's up? No, nothing. I mean, it was just an incredible performance from Cryer and Houston. Just they play hard nosed basketball. They play tough basketball. They they want to win. Great. I think that Duke had this game in the bag and they choked it away. But also think that they let them hang around too long in the first half when I think Shire should have had a different game plan. His game plan was kind of like, let's take it to them the way that they beat other teams. And before the game, I told Jordan, I said, you don't want to get in a dogfight with them. You don't want to play that dirty basketball like the Houston plays. And Jordan told me, but we could do that too. They
Well,
kept
that wasn't the whole. I see what you're trying to do. That wasn't the whole game, though. That wasn't the whole game. It was the opposite, actually.
No. I'm not saying that you said anything wrong. I agreed with you. I said Duke can win that type of basketball too, but I just didn't think that was the good. I didn't think it was a good idea to play that way. They should played more fast-paced basketball because they were capable of doing that too. They should have played more. I thought I thought they should have played the basketball through Knipple more than they did, especially in the second half because he
Yes,
had such a good first half.
that's what it is.
Yeah, and they didn't. Um, it seems like he barely touched the ball in the second half when I was watching,
You
but
didn't.
I don't know. Maybe Houston did a good job against him. But I thought that they should run the ball, get the ball to him more, and have him and Cooper pretty much take over that second half and play their basketball. I don't really blame Flag. I know he missed a shot at the end. Great players miss those shots throughout their career. So if you're gonna go out, if you're gonna come on here and try and blame Flag for that possession or Flag for the game, I mean it's fucking ridiculous. I do put blame on Malawak. I don't know how the hell you don't get any rebounds. I don't know how the hell your big ass doesn't get any fucking rebounds. I don't know how the hell you're down there getting punked by all those fucking Houston guys. You're the biggest dude on the court, and he's been great all season. He's going to be a top 10 pick of this draft. Knipple's going to be a top 10 pick of this draft, and Flag's number 1. So you gotta be more physical. You gotta play tougher. You got to get fucking rebounds. I think Houston did a good job with pulling him out on the paint, and I don't think
Yeah,
he had a
yeah.
problem with that because he can guard out on the paint. That's a strength of Malawak. He could defend out there. Like it's not like he's some scrub out defensively. Every good game
Kind of
from
breaking
out
up
there so they
into
get
He's
offensive
kind of breaking
rebounds.
up a little bit.
You hear me now?
Yeah,
yeah.
Or I'm saying it was a good game plan to get him out of the paint because they do get a lot of offensive rebounds. They do crash the glass. And without him down there, it helped Houston get those second chance opportunities, which kept them in the game. But all in all, I think Shire got out coached. I think Cryer he's been dominant all tournament. His 3-point shooting has been ridiculous. And it was a choke. I mean, it's a fucking choke. I don't know how you score 1 point and like one field goal in 8 minutes of basketball when you're the best Duke team we've seen in a long time. So I mean, bad coaching, bad execution by Duke, and I don't know what the fuck Proctor was doing out there. I don't know what the fuck
Nothing.
he was doing out there.
That's the only reason I don't like to use the word choke, because as a team, I like to pinpoint to certain guys that choke. Because I feel like it was certain guys specifically that choked in this game.
Yeah, there were
And
certain
that choke.
guys, but you can't let them as a team.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't just let them come back on that. I mean, I couldn't believe it. The inbound play was fucking ridiculous. I don't know what the fuck they were doing.
Well, we called a
I don't know
timeout.
why.
We called a timeout and then came back with the same formation and didn't spread
Yeah,
the court.
I don't
Didn't send
know
anybody
why.
deep.
I don't know why Proctor got the ball at the end to shoot the foul shots. I don't know how the hell he gets the ball. It kind of seemed like he wanted the ball.
He did.
yeah.
Get the ball to Flag, get the ball to Knipple, get the ball to guys that can shoot the free throws. And it's not like Proctor's a bad free throw shooter, but still, he was having
He's
a bad
mid.
He's having a bad game. Get the ball to somebody who you know is going to knock them down. Flag should have gotten the ball. And I don't think that you can blame the refs, but that was a ridiculous foul call on Flag on the free throw. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy Houston won because it's awesome to see a team like that go out there and upset the best. I mean, people calling it the best Duke team we've ever seen, and that's one of the most historic franchise in all. I mean, it was a dog fight. But I think Florida's going to bring it to them tonight. I think Florida learned. Well, if Florida didn't learn, they're stupid. But they should get out and run. And Florida is one of the best offenses in college basketball, so they should get out there. They should move the pace. Don't let Houston get into their defensive set. Don't let them settle on the defensive end. And you got to crash the fucking glass. And the Florida's got those two big white guys. Hopefully they fucking get down there and get some rebounds, because if not, they're in trouble too. But if they can speed the game up and play Florida basketball instead of playing Houston basketball like Duke kind of did, then I think that they're gonna win tonight.
I think you can play. I think you can play. I don't necessarily have to go up and down the court with them. I think you can play fast. I think even in the half court, I think the ball has to be moving from east to west a little bit more. Like when we were moving the ball from side to side against their defense, we had pretty good success. It was when we were at the top of the key and trying to go north south pretty much for that entire time where we had the drought. I think is where their defense really was able to key in, because their defense is already great. You don't want to make it easier for them. So I think even if they're in the half court, Florida can get the ball moving from side to side. They can have some good results, and still running like you said. But you can still do some things in the half court if you play the right way. If you play into their hands, then you're not gonna get good results.
Yep.
Yeah, it was fucking awesome game though. I was at the bar, and nobody at this bar I felt like didn't even give a fuck that this game was on, and I was sitting at the end of the bar by myself with my fucking mouth like my jaw was on the floor. I couldn't even fucking believe it. What was going on when the inbound happened? I said, "There's no fucking way they're about to win this game." There was no fucking way. I was stunned, and I went into the bar when you guys were up like 14. I'm like, "Fuck, it's over. Duke and Florida. That's gonna be fun."
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there with my wife, and there we were seeing this like fucking band, and I was like, "Yo, hold on 1 second, I'll be right back." And I had to go straight to the TV. I said, "This is ridiculous." Yeah, it was an amazing game.
It was interesting because it was a 14-point lead. Reason I didn't think it was over was two reasons. One, when I watch college basketball, I try to, if it's a single digit game, because respect to them, because these kids are so dumb and like you can't advance the ball, and there's so many reasons that college basketball games end chaotically more than like NBA games. If it's a single digit game with like 5 or 6 minutes left, you're in the game, in my opinion. Like it's a game. Sometimes even 10-11. But so I was trying to see what the score was gonna be when it got to like that 6 minute mark. Because if we would have been at like 12-13, I'd be like, okay, we probably got this. But it was 6 points. It was 14 points at 8 minutes, and then 2 minutes later it was a 6 point game. So it was like, okay, we got a dog fight. Like it's gonna be we got a dog fight. And then Cooper hit the end one. I'm like, okay, we might be okay, but it's still 2 minutes left. Let's see if they can get this to like 2 possessions with like a minute left or a minute 30 left, because they just cut the lead that we had really quickly before. So let's see what they do. And then go back and last thing I say before we move on, just go back and watch how casually Sion was playing the fucking inbound each one of those times. No urgency whatsoever. Um, ball bouncing on the ground. He not ball bouncing on the ground. He letting the ball roll to him. You know, instead of going to get the ball quick before their defense can get set. Just stuff that you don't expect to see from somebody who's supposed to be the point guard, who was brought in to be the elder statesman to all these highly touted freshmen, and he was the one who was the most unpoised. Him and Proctor. So it's ah
Well said.
You
Well
don't think
said.
there's any chance like
no
this is a long shot. You don't think
no
yeah.
no
Okay. You know what I
no.
was gonna say?
If he's going somebody coming back or what?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, no. I thought if he hadn't played in the tournament, I thought like maybe, but nah.
He seems like the kind of guy that wants to win there, though. I don't know, but
He does. It's too. He's the number one pick, bro. He's like, it's time to go. It's time to go.
our luck, the Sixers landed him in the fucking lottery, and then he's like, "No, I'm staying."
Can't blame him.
Shut the fuck up, you loser. Fuck out of
Yeah, I do want to say, everybody that's in here so far, thank y'all. Make sure you all like this video. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. 32 subscribers away from 1,000. So if you're in here, you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. And also, if you're in here, you're not a member, I would love for you all to become a member as well. If you see anybody named that's green or have the Facts and Stats logo next to their name, they are members. How can you become a member? You click the link that's in the description on this video that says become a member. 3 different levels you can join as, and it's really just extending your support for the platform. So I would love for everybody to become a member if you are not a member at any time. Next, we pretty much just picking our winner for this Florida versus Houston National Championship game. Me personally, been Florida as a team that can win it all probably since like December, I want to say January, somewhere in that ballpark. And they're finally they're here. They made it. I think it'll be a really damn good game. Your process to Florida's obviously also one of the better offensive teams. Houston's obviously one of the better defensive teams, but if they get offensive sparks from LJ and Sharp and maybe even Milos, that makes them even more of a threat from a well-rounded perspective. I just think this Florida team is tough to beat because they have a guard that can control the game from a scoring standpoint, and then they have other guards / wings that can also impact the game from a scoring standpoint that are not slouches on defense, and then they have 2 bigs or maybe even 3 that all can contribute to the game as well. So me personally, I'm going with Florida in a tight one. I think this game is going to be super duper close, just like Florida and Auburn, just like Duke and Houston. And I think Florida gets the win really close. 3,
Did you talk
4,
about
5.
Auburn in Florida?
Yeah, earlier before the Duke game.
That was crazy too. Auburn, another fucking choke job. But go ahead.
Yeah. D-Mac said something nice though. D-Mac said college basketball is a game of runs, or basketball is a game of runs. So I wouldn't really necessarily say Auburn folded, but Walter just had a big second half. You know what I'm saying? The
Bro,
team.
he is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, he a tough player, bro.
I don't know if he's gonna transition into this type of shit in the NBA because I just don't trust that. But he is fucking hooping right now.
Yep. But everybody else that's in the chat and on the stage, who do y'all got? Florida versus Houston tonight.
I mean, if somebody like McCain can do it, why can't he? Like, to be honest, like I don't see why Walter can't. I don't
Yeah,
see why Walter.
Good
I don't
point.
see. I don't see why Walter wouldn't be able to translate, bro. Like I don't. I think GMs would kind of be overthinking it.
got
Somebody
that
better take
fucking
him.
ugly ass fucking jumper. I don't know. It goes in, but it's ugly.
Yeah, it goes in. Somebody better take him late first round, because if you late first round, it's like most likely either you got an extra pick. If you can either have an extra pick or you're a team where you're already good, and it's like, why not take it? Why not go for the upside? So that would be what I would say to that. But
Yeah. No, I see it. I mean, I see it. I mean, if he's gonna go late, so it's not like it's a risk.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Klein, of course, I know they don't play similar. I'm a Duke fan. Like, what the fuck? I'm talking about
He was
his
just saying,
limits.
like, yeah, I
I'm
get
talking
what
about
you're saying.
he's limited. Yeah, he has
Right.
very obvious physical limitations that he's able to overcome. Walter has some of the same ones, and he's more skilled. He's not as strong as McCain, but he's more skilled. Like, I thought that was pretty easy to understand. But for the game tonight, I'm going Florida, but like picking against Houston just feels wrong because they just stay in the game and they just scrap and they fight. I think. I was trying to think, is Walter gonna have a Kimba run, or is he gonna have a fucking Trey Burke run? Where it's like you have a crazy run, but ultimately you don't end up getting it done because you run into a better team. I think he's gonna have his little Kimba run. I think the game will be close, and then in a close game. I mean, you said Luka was washed, Quan. That was a terrible take. He averaged 30 on 63 shooting in March. I don't know if you want to talk about terrible takes, bro. But yeah, I think it'll be a close game, and I'm taking the best shot maker on the court in that scenario. That's kind of simply the way I would boil it down. Houston can win this game though.
He is
'Cause
the best shot maker, but fucking Pryor, man, he's
That's
right
what I'm
there.
saying. That's what I was about to say. Cryer can do the same thing. I'm gonna
God.
lean Clayton in that scenario, but either one of them can hit a big shot to win this game, and I think that's what's gonna happen. I think we set up for one of these dudes to hit a big shot, whether it's at the buzzer or a go ahead shot late to take control or solidify control of this game. Like if they up one possession, maybe go up two possessions to put it away. But it's gonna be a close game. I think in the low 70s, high 60s, like ours was.
Yep. Sosa, Ari, how y'all feeling about the game? Who y'all got winning? If you still present, Sosa. And Ari, if you still present. And also, can I get some more votes into the chat before we transition?
What
Florida,
was the
Houston, who y'all
question?
got? How you feeling about the game tonight?
It's a game.
Oh my
Do you
God.
think y'all win? If so, why?
It's somebody's gonna win.
Do you think y'all win tonight?
I think we can win. I think we can lose.
Okay. My job is finished.
Oh, well, she think they winning, bro, because she didn't think they were going to beat us, and she said it. So I'm by her non-answer, I'm assuming she think they're going to win. So
No, I didn't think y'all were. I picked y'all to win the whole thing, so that's not really that big of a deal. I definitely picked y'all to win the whole thing
So you had y'all losing
very
yesterday, then.
convincingly. Well, it was Saturday, but yeah.
Yes, Saturday. Thank you, Ari.
No, you only got 90 minutes of sleep. I wanted to help you out. Sorry.
That was Saturday. That was Saturday as well. Since you corrected me
Yeah,
on the days,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But days kind of blend together.
I slept like a baby last night.
That's good. I'm happy for
Thought
you.
about the chips, bro. Hope you get one tonight.
Maybe, maybe not. Good sauce or bad sauce. I don't know.
Man, if you were here, you'd have to subscribe, man. Make sure y'all subscribe. I see y'all votes. Quan said Florida in a close one. I'm gonna do this real quick. Y'all notice when I do this when I'm moving. Everybody that came through on the YouTube side of things today, thank y'all so much. Truly, we are now going to transition to the NBA. NBA is pops a lot in playback, so we'll see. Jaja, we're gonna head over to playback. Jaja, playback.tv/fact and stats is where the show is about to move. The show is not over. We still got an hour, 2 hours, whatever the case may be, to talk about some NBA things. Again, playback.tv/facts and stats. If you are in here, make sure you all subscribe. Also, if you are in here, make sure you all join the Fact and Stats Playback Room and join the show as well. I'm going to drop that playback link into the chat. Again, it's playback.tv/fact and stats. It's an app you can easily download. It's free. It don't cost no money to sign up and join the room. It's 1,758 members. Make sure you all pull up, come through to the playback room. We're going to talk about the Nuggets, the Rockets, the Warriors, the Lakers, OKC, a lot. So playback.tv/fact and stats. And again, if you are not subscribed to the platform, do me a solid and make sure you subscribe to Fact and Stats on YouTube. I will see y'all in playback right now. Playback.tv/facts and stats. Meet me there. Thank y'all for the support on YouTube. And again, Twitter Spaces will be returning. Twitter Spaces will be returning after the play-in and playoff games. Peace, blessings, and love. I'll see y'all in playback. Playback.tv/facts and stats. Playback.tv/facts and stats. Something in my beard. Oh, there we go. All right. I'll see y'all there. Thank y'all. NBA.